Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about the impulse and front end product category for retail chains. So if you have a great product that's small, that could fit around the counter area, it's kind of an impulse buy. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And the reason I decided to create this training is because I deal with so many different product categories and people are always asking about their particular product type and what they can do. And I just want to give you some suggestions and things to think about so that you can generate revenue with your consumer product. There's too many products out there that are great that nobody knows about. And so that's why I create these trainings to support you. Really quick, a brief background about me. Again, my name is Karen Waksman. I'm the founder of a company called Retail MBA. We teach people how to get their products into major retailers, online retailers, catalogs, small retailers, HSN, QVC, and more. Our goal is to help people generate millions of dollars worth of products out in the world and to get their ideas and stuff out there. And we teach formulas on how to do this. And the reason I started doing this is because I started my career out as a manufacturer's rep, someone who sells products to retail chains back in early 2000s. I used to dream of someone explaining this stuff to me when I was trying to figure out how to make money. And eventually, about 11 years ago, I started teaching my proven methodologies because I ended up selling millions of consumer products to retailers and so forth. And then ultimately started teaching these methodologies kind of as a side project. And eventually, so many people got successes and it turned into a big thing. And now we've basically taught close to 50,000 brands on how to generate revenue with consumer products. It's been pretty fun. So anyways, just me teaching out in the world. So let's talk about the impulse and front end product category. Really, again, these are impulse buys. These are products that somebody would buy impulsively on the spot. A perfect example of this is Bed Bath & Beyond. If you go to their stores and you're walking around and you're waiting in line to go buy something, you see all these little products around the counter with a little display. That's what that's called. They're actually buyers in the world who buy specifically for that area. So in the chain store space, like we'll just use Walmart as an example, the buyer who buys for the consumer electronics section is not the same buyer who buys, say, for the front of the store. There's a different buyer. These are categories of things that they purchase for. This buyer is looking for small products that could fit around the counter area that would make somebody open their pocketbook. You know that a lot of retailers have this. They do this on purpose. They're trying to increase revenue. And so these little purchases are great. I had one client who had the world's smallest keychain light. It's like a little light that you stick on your keys so you don't get lost. And that guy went to one show and he sold 500,000 units of that one product shortly after doing his work. There was some due diligence he had to do before he got that big order, but working with retailers and so forth. But again, don't ignore impulse and front end products because they can convert like crazy because they're small, they're easy, it's cheap to ship, all sorts of stuff. So this only works for people with small products that can work in a small display around the counter or right, in that area. And so that requires you to have that particular type of product. Now, this buyer who can buy this product is a separate buyer from, again, other categories. And so you need to figure out who that buyer is to reach out to them. But before you do, you definitely want to make sure that you set your display up properly. And what that means is you're responsible for creating the display. You're the person who's responsible for creating the entire setup and so forth. And so the design elements are so key for this type of product category because otherwise, where are they going to put it? If it looks weird, they're not going to buy it, and so forth. So you have some more, it's exciting, and simultaneously, you have to do a lot more strategy work than other types of products because there needs to be a containment unit that carries your product, needs to be small enough, but right size, and the pricing needs to be optimal with the impulse and so forth. And so you know who you are and whether or not you have a product like that. And if you do, you definitely want to get a little bit of assistance before you start launching into retail chains because if you do it properly, you can make a lot of money. And those displays are something that you will have to embed in your costs. So you also have to know that. That's something that most people don't realize. It's not something that the buyer is going to pay for. The good news is they're going to buy a dozen of your product instead of one. And so there are some benefits to having this little containment unit. There's so much more to say about front-end buyers. We teach strategies on how to go after retail chains virtually without going to trade shows. We teach people who have no experience buyer relationships how to go after stores. I'll explain in a minute what we do, but ultimately, the general concept is developing your strategy and then going after stores is key. And there are trade shows that focus on the front end retailer, like the buyers who are looking for that. So definitely do a search online where you could conceivably show your product at trade shows. So if I can give you any quick tips for front end, spend more time on packaging than anything else, because that's going to be the difference between someone buying your product or not. And you can utilize that display with more visuals and more design elements than the actual product itself. So there's market research and stuff to be had, but ultimately, again, they're buying a dozen, 2 dozen of your product at a single sitting, which is really, really exciting. So something to consider there. If you want to learn more about selling into retailers and you want to spend some time with us, we have a free training. All you have to do is go to retailmba.com/free, sign up for the free webinar. It's 90 minutes. It gives us time to answer questions with you. We support you in answering and helping you out. And it's just good to know how buyers think, what makes them more inclined to buy, and so forth. If you want more support and you want someone to look at your pitch or the words you use or packaging or pricing, or you just want an exact formula on how to go after retailers as quickly as possible, take a look at our website, retailmba.com. We have do-it-yourself programs. We have done-for-you programs, all budgets and all situations. We have master classes where we do 4-week intensives where we're helping you build out a plan for your product and reaching out to buyers. We have buyer lists. We have live events where we meet with you and so forth. Take a look at what we're up to and join us. Subscribe to this, like this post, comment if you like the information. Take a look at our testimonials. We have so many success stories over the years, and we really work with people at any stage of their business and brand. Anyways, I hope that provided value for you. This is Karen Waksman, Retail MBA. I appreciate your time, and I hope this helped. Thank you.